They're actually doing it. We're actually getting PvP balance changes a lot quicker, and it's coming in this new patch. This patch also brings with it the spring event, but I think we're mostly going to be interested about these balance changes, so let me just jump right in. Let's talk about what we have. So this is patch 1.9.2, and it brings with it the Springtide Bloom event. We're not going to talk too much about that. We've sort of done that a handful of times. You should farm it though, because the patterns are quite good. However, this is a bigger patch than just that, and the patch is going to go live tomorrow. First thing tomorrow if you're in EU, last thing tonight if you're in like West Coast America, and then wherever you are in the world. Now the event does last until the 23rd of May, and then the next event will start. That has pretty much been confirmed. It's on the website somewhere. But let me just jump in. Let's talk about what we've actually got with all of these combat changes and more. There's actually quite a lot here. So let's just go through it as quickly as we can. This one is probably the biggest one for me. I'm kidding, but it is actually important for me. They fixed an issue that caused player characters' hair to appear brighter than intended in shaded areas. Yeah, I looked like I was grey. It was weird. They fixed an issue that blocked players from entering the cave for the quest Dearly Beloved. I know some people are struggling with the MSQ. Hopefully that's the quest that fixes that. A big one here, and I'm very intrigued in how this one will look. They have reduced the red colour intensity of enemy spells and abilities. Really, it's the ball that is sort of like too bright. It's very jarring. Some people like the fact that it's there. I think it should just be on the ground myself, but they're reducing the intensity. Very happy they're doing that relatively quickly. But you've probably already seen the spoilers. Let's look at the next one. They are changing the armor mitigation on both medium and heavy. They're increasing medium armor ratings by 2.5% and heavy by 5%. Now, how will that like translate into the battlefield? I don't know. It's possibly for the best, because at the minute everybody's sort of playing either bow or fire staff, but melee was in a little bit of a weird place. You sort of run in, you die, and it's not overly fun. I do worry that if you buff melee too much, we're going to have like super strong melee bruiser meta, which maybe people don't like, but I personally am a big fan considering I play bruiser. But let's see it in action. It's nice that they're taking, like, it's a basic function they're doing, but it's nice that they're taking action relatively quickly. And then there are changes to fortify and armor. Shirking fortification perk is increasing its max from 3.9 to 4.7. Sturdy fortification perk is going from 4 to 5, and so is the great axe fortifying whirlwind perk. Cool. And then there's quite a lot of changes to actual weapon perks and just weapons in general. Crowded protection passive, that's going from 10% to 20% on the great axe. On the Warhammer outnumbered passive is going from 10 to 20. Power cleaner upgrade is going from 10 to 20. Defensive training for sword and shield is going from 10 to 20. For the fire staff, watch it burn, they've temporarily disabled the watch it burn passive from being able to trigger off a critical from the first hit of a meteor shower. It will be re-enabled when a large fix is available. Not sure what it's supposed to do, but they're obviously not happy with what it is doing. For Fleur, they have reduced the damage from the AoE from 140 to 110. They've removed the projectile slowdown. I'm not sure I know what that is. Pillar of Fire, they have reduced the cooldown reduction value on armor from 17 to 11%, and the value on the weapons from 30 to 20%. Basically, fire staff nerfs. Makes sense, sort of, you know, you could see it coming. They've done it. Musket is getting a slight buff. They've decreased how long it takes to charge the steady aim from 2 to 1.5 seconds, and then less when you're in shooter stance. I don't want the musket to come back, so it does need a buff, but I actually just don't want to see it. Escortler and Tomb is actually being nerfed. They're reducing the amount of health you get back from 75% to 50%. It was feeling a little bit common, but you know, I guess it makes sense. Void Gauntlet, they fixed an issue that caused the Void Blade to have tracking issues with targets. I think it's going to take a lot more than that to bring Void Gauntlet into the meta, but maybe I'm wrong. And then another huge change. They have added damage fall off for bow attacks. Damage fall off will start at 40 meters and reach 50% reduction at 100 meters. Basically, they don't want to play you like a rat from like 200 meters away. I keep saying 200 meters, but obviously 40 meters away is too far. They want to get you a little bit more up close and personal. Probably a good change. I've been playing bow because I haven't been playing bruiser, and it's probably for the best. They have decreased the hitbox size of the heavy attack. I'm not really sure what those numbers mean, so I won't repeat them, but interesting to know. Honestly, I'm not that good with the bow, but it is sort of easy to hit with it. And that's going from somebody who's pretty bad, so that would make sense. Lemon is going to be preferring his new video because they are changing the seasonal activities. They're replacing some of the imbalanced ones. I'm not going to read these out here to you, but you know, they're just changing the quantities on some of them, adding some of them in here. It is what it is. I didn't realize that this was a thing, but they've added the ability to directly purchase season pass levels without purchasing the premium reward track. I guess that makes sense. So if you are on the free one and you're just struggling to finish it, you could just buy the odd level, but I don't necessarily think anybody will be doing that right now. Oh, it's a little sneaky one here. If you already have opened up your Inferno Champions chest, then that's good, because the actual amount of items you're going to get is going down. It's going to give 1 instead of 4. I'm not sure what this means, but it could be very important. Remove procedural gathering sets from the named item loot pool or loot table. I don't get it, I don't understand it, but that could be significant. They fixed the issue that if you were already ranked 200, that you will now actually be able to claim the Reaping the Reward season journey task. It was a little bit weird that if you were already max, you then couldn't claim it because you couldn't get like an extra level. They fixed it. I thought this was a feature, not a bug. They've adjusted the audio for Grace O'Malley in the voiceover in Morningdale Tavern so that she's less reverby, less echoey. Thought that was intended. I was like, oh, it's a little bit unusual, but fair enough. But yeah, these are sort of just like minor changes. I'm not necessarily going to go through every single one. The real ones here is that the fact we are getting like the combat changes. We're getting some huge combat changes relatively quickly after a massive balance update. And yeah, obviously the instant reaction is that they're nerfing both Fire Staff and Bow. Therefore, the amount of people playing that might go down a little bit, and they're buffing medium and heavy. Like, quite clearly, there's nothing to it. They're just literally buffing it. They're also changing the fortifying perk, the shirking fortifying perk, which, if I'm honest, there'll be some mad heads who know all the like maths behind it. I literally don't quite fully understand it, but that sounds like they're going to be more viable to have shirking fort back in the meta. But really, this is sort of nice to see. I don't think anything here is going like super crazy, like too far. Everything sort of seems a little bit minor. Like the Fire Staff changes, they're not huge, but they could have like a significant impact. The Ice Tomb change, like it's not massive, it's just one ability getting changed a little bit, but it could actually be pretty important in the meta. And the bow, I think 4 life damage, logically it makes sense. So all of this is very cool, very good. Happy to see it happening this quickly. Yeah, very excited to see it. And as I said, I'm not really going to talk too much about the Springtide Bloom event. I'll leave a link on the screen somewhere, perhaps about my actual guide to it when I actually just powered through it. It's a classic event. You'll be able to figure it out, I'm sure. But yeah, very, very happy with that. Very exciting stuff. Sort of surprised it's coming like in this patch, but excited nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member or Patreon is the best way. Other than that, you can come and follow me over on Twitch. I should be streaming quite regularly. I think I'm going to do a big stream tomorrow, so come and check me out there. And then if you want, we have some great times, just the best times you can ever imagine. Other than that, have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.